Are we really going to let another opportunity slip through our fingers, or are the Philadelphia Phillies finally ready to make the bold, decisive move that screams World Series or bust for 2026? Folks, we're talking about a team on the cusp, a roster brimming with talent, yet still searching for that elusive, perfect piece to complete the championship puzzle. And today, we're tearing into a name that's been whispered in the trade winds, a name that could either be the missing link or a colossal misstep. Brendan Donovan of the St. Louis Cardinals. Now, I know what some of you are thinking, another utility guy? Do we really need more of that? But hold your horses, because this isn't just any utility player. This is a Gold Glove winner, a National League Rookie of the Year contender, and an All-Star in the making. Donovan burst onto the scene in 2022, not just with a bang, but with a defensive prowess that earned him a Gold Glove and a third-place finish in the NL Rookie of the Year voting. That's not small potatoes, people. That's a statement. Since then, he's solidified his reputation as one of baseball's most versatile weapons, a true Swiss Army knife capable of playing every single infield position, plus both corner outfield spots. Think about that for a second. A player who can seamlessly transition from second base to third, short, first, left field, right field, all while maintaining an above-average offensive output. We're talking about a career .361 on-base percentage and a 119 OPS plus. These aren't just numbers, they're indicators of a player who consistently gets on base, who creates opportunities, and who makes things happen at the plate. His strong first half of the 2025 season even earned him a well-deserved spot on the NL All-Star team, a testament to his consistent performance and growing impact. Unfortunately, injuries sidelined him for the final 2 months, limiting him to just 17 games, which might just be the silver lining for any team looking to acquire him at a potentially lower price. The backdrop here is crucial. The St. Louis Cardinals are in full-blown rebuild mode. They're shedding assets, looking to restock their farm system, and planning for a future that doesn't necessarily include a player who will soon turn 29 with only 2 years left on his contract. This creates a fascinating dynamic. On one hand, you have a proven, versatile, high IQ player who could instantly elevate a contender. On the other, you have a rebuilding team eager to maximize their return for a player who doesn't fit their long-term timeline. This isn't just a trade rumor, it's a strategic chess match, and the Phillies are right in the thick of it. The question isn't just if Donovan is available, but what price are the Cardinals demanding, and more importantly, is he the right fit for our beloved Fightin Phils? This isn't just about adding a player, it's about defining the identity of our team for the next 2 seasons. Are we going all in, or are we playing it safe? The answer could determine whether we hoist the Commissioner's Trophy or watch another season end in heartbreak. This is the kind of decision that shapes legacies, and it's one the Phillies front office cannot afford to get wrong. So, why should the Phillies be interested in Brendan Donovan? Let's cut through the noise and get to the core of it. Any team with legitimate championship aspirations needs a player like Donovan. He's a super utility guy who rarely strikes out, a crucial trait in high-pressure playoff situations, and consistently hits double-digit home runs every single season. Think about that combination: plate discipline, power, and unparalleled defensive flexibility. He's the kind of player who makes a manager's job easier, providing insurance across the diamond and a reliable bat in the lineup. Now let's talk about the elephant in the room, our current infield. With the long-term futures of Bryson Stott and Alec Boehm seemingly up in the air, Donovan could be an incredibly shrewd acquisition. Imagine a scenario where the Phillies decide to move on from one of them this offseason, perhaps to acquire a top-tier starting pitcher or a dominant bullpen arm. Donovan immediately steps in as a high-quality, proven replacement, offering stability and a different offensive profile. He's not just a stopgap. He's a potential long-term solution, a player who could anchor a position for years to come while still offering that incredible versatility when needed. But here's where the plot thickens, and the Phillies' dilemma becomes truly complex. As of right now, on paper, there doesn't seem to be an obvious, everyday starting spot for Donovan. This is the critical hurdle. If he were a right-handed bat, he could potentially fill that role we saw Whit Merrifield attempt a few years back, platooning with Stott or Brandon Marsh. However, Donovan is a left-handed hitter, and last year he showed a significant platoon split, performing much better against right-handed pitching. This isn't a deal-breaker, but it complicates his fit as an everyday starter in a lineup already heavy with lefties. Furthermore, the Phillies already boast a very capable utility infielder in Edmundo Sosa, who provides excellent defense and timely hitting. So, if Donovan isn't an everyday starter and we already have Sosa, are we overpaying for redundancy? This is the million-dollar question that the front office is undoubtedly wrestling with. And then there's the price tag. Rumors suggest the Cardinals are asking for a king's ransom for Donovan. This isn't surprising given his talent and team control, but it forces the Phillies to weigh the cost against the perceived need. Is he worth depleting our already precious farm system? Could we argue that Donovan would be a fantastic option to pair with a developing prospect like Aidan Miller? Perhaps a trade package involving Miller could bring us a finished product like Donovan, a player who can contribute immediately while the team is firmly in its championship window. That's a compelling argument, trading potential for proven performance. However, unless the Phillies are actively planning to trade Bohm or Stott, it's hard to envision a clear path for Donovan to be an everyday player. And if he's not an everyday player, much of his immense value, that incredible versatility, is somewhat wasted. You don't acquire a player of Donovan's caliber just to have him sit on the bench or play a few times a week. You acquire him to be a cornerstone, a difference maker. This is the climax of the debate. Do you sacrifice future talent for a player who might not have a clear everyday role? Or do you hold onto your prospects, betting on their potential to blossom into stars? It's a high-stakes gamble either way, and the Phillies need to decide if Donovan is the missing piece or merely a very shiny, very expensive puzzle piece that doesn't quite fit. So, where does this leave us, Phillies fans? After dissecting Brendan Donovan's profile, his potential availability, and the intricate dynamics of his fit with our beloved team, the picture becomes clearer, yet no less complex. On one hand, you have an undeniable talent. A Gold Glove winner, an all-star, a high OBP guy who rarely strikes out, and a defensive wizard capable of playing literally every single position in the infield and both corner outfield spots. That kind of versatility and consistent offensive production is a dream for any contending team. He represents a significant upgrade in terms of depth and provides an incredible safety net against injuries or underperformance from existing starters. The argument for acquiring him, especially if the Cardinals' asking price becomes more reasonable, is compelling, particularly if the Phillies are considering a larger roster shakeup involving Stott or Bohm. He could be the perfect bridge or even a long-term solution, allowing the team to reallocate resources elsewhere. However, we cannot ignore the practical realities. The current roster, as it stands, doesn't present an obvious everyday starting spot for Donovan without moving another key player. His left-handed bat and platoon splits, while not disqualifying, do add a layer of complexity to his deployment, especially in a lineup that already features several left-handed hitters. And then there's the opportunity cost. The Cardinals are reportedly asking for a significant return, and while Aidan Miller's name has been floated as a potential trade chip, sacrificing top-tier prospects for a player who might not maximize his versatility in an everyday role is a tough pill to swallow. My gut feeling after weighing all the pros and cons is that unless a major move is made involving one of our current everyday infielders, or unless the Cardinals drastically lower their asking price, the Phillies might be better served holding onto their young talent. The value of Donovan truly shines when he's playing multiple positions, filling gaps, and being that ultimate super utility player. Making him a full-time starter at one position, while certainly possible, feels like it diminishes a significant portion of what makes him so special. Ultimately, the Phillies front office has a monumental decision on their hands. Do they chase the proven, versatile talent in Brendan Donovan, potentially at the cost of future prospects and a clear everyday role? Or do they trust in the development of their current young core and look for a more precise fit elsewhere? This isn't just about one player, It's about the strategic direction of the franchise as we push for that elusive World Series title in 2026. What do you think, Phillies Nation? Is Donovan the missing piece or a luxury we can't afford right now? I want to hear your passionate takes on this. Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Tell me if you'd trade for him, who you'd give up and why. And if you're as invested in the Phillies' future as I am, make sure to smash that like button and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any of our exclusive in-depth analysis. Let's keep this conversation going because together we're building the roadmap to a Phillies championship.